Another one of those train themes to stimulate the jazz players and listeners. Count Basie's band and Super Chief, featuring the trumpet work of Harry Sweets Edison, the tenor horn of Buddy Tate, the drum work of Joe Jones, and Bill Basie at the piano, and just a fragment of the rhythm section, the pulse, the claw, Freddie Green. Super Chief, one of those specials in the Basie book dating back to the years around 1940. At the other end of our electronic line, we have piped into the Artist Quarter at 26th and Nicollet in Minneapolis, and standing by is George Avaloz, who leads the band, a drummer of great experience who lives in the St. Paul, Minneapolis area. And George, it's good to have you on the line, and I think you have a guest. But first, let me ask you when you first met Harry Sweets Edison.
I met Sweets Edison about 25 years ago at a place called Robert Show Lounge in Chicago. And he had a band with Jimmy Forrest and Andrew Hill, and I think the bass player was name was Stanley Crouch, and George Kubery was the comedian. And downstairs they had Count Basie and Sarah Vaughan, and Dick Gregory was the MC.
Those are,
And we were working upstairs and had a great time then, and I'm having a great time now.
Those are some pretty remarkable names. That was 25 years ago. And what was your impression of Harry Sweets Edison at that time?
Impressed even more so now than I was then, because I was pretty young then, and he was pulling my coat to a lot of things, and I'm still learning from him.
That's wonderful. Well, George, would you introduce the indefinable, irresistible, magnificent?
Yeah, it would take too long to get into all the acclamations that he deserves, but here's the one and only Mr. Sweets Edison.
Welcome in, Harry Sweets Edison.
Hello?
Hello. It's good to have you on the line.
Oh, it's good to be on the line. It's good to be here to talk to you, and it's a pleasure and a privilege to be on your show.
Well, it's a privilege for us. Welcome to Minneapolis, St. Paul, and we hope the weather is at least compatible.
Well, everyone says it's a little warmer here than it has been. I'm glad I'm that fortunate to be here when the weather is conducive. It's not 80 like in Los Angeles, but the crowd is 80.
Yes, they're very warm.
Yeah, it's a very warm crowd. I enjoy playing for them because they are very receptive, responsive, and very attentive. It's a fantastic audience, great jazz audience. I wish I could. I'm on my way to Europe, going to England, Ireland, Scotland, Germany, Austria.
And you're going to one of your favorite cities, Paris.
Paris. That's my last engagement in Europe, March 22nd. I'll open in Paris at a place called the Petit Journal on the left bank, as you know about, because you are almost a Parisian yourself. You know all the good spots there in Paris. And I have a lot of friends there, and you do too. And especially one in particular, Joe Turner.
I was going to ask you about Joe is still practicing at that
Calvados.
La Calvados, yes.
Yes, there on George V, right off of Champs-Élysées.
Yes, what a marvelous round-the-clock spot that is.
So, we usually go over there. Most of the musicians from America go there and have breakfast because he plays until 5 every morning.
We might point out that Joe Turner we're talking about is a stride pianist.
Stride pianist, right. Well, I didn't say the late Joe Turner because the other one, the singer, Big Joe Turner, he's passed away. But this one is still doing it, and he's still a great pianist and a wonderful guy. He's about 78 years old now and still playing like he was 17. He's been living in Paris about 40 years. He's a Parisian, really. And he has a family there, and it's a beautiful city. All of them are jazz-orientated there, and it's a wonderful place to go and play. In fact, all of Europe is a fantastic place to go and play. I love the European audiences. They are very receptive, very responsive, and they are great. They are great. I just love to go over there. I'll be going over there about 4 times this year. And my next trip will be to Italy.
Well, you're a world traveler, and in the course of things, you really, if I were to just look back in time with you for just a moment and mention the name Alphonse Trent, what would you say?
Well, I would say that I didn't know the man.
Didn't know him at all.
Never was fortunate. I wasn't fortunate enough to play in his band, but he had a fantastic band that was a mistake. Leonard Feather, who wrote the
encyclopedia
dictionary, he made a mistake, and he put in his dictionary that I had played with Alphonso Trent, but I played with some of the members of his band. That's the first band I left Columbus, Ohio with. And he made a mistake, and I have told him about it many times, that he wasn't accurate in that instant.
Harry, I really appreciate your academic footnote so that we can get the matter straight on the record.
Oh, yes. I have told many people all over the world that I never did play with Alphonso Trent.
How about Lucky Millender, who was...
I did. That was the first band I played with in New York. I played with him for about 6 months, and as I had played with Joe Jones and Walter Page in St. Louis, they were in New York. They joined the Basie band in Kansas City because that was the old Benny Moten band. And one of the trumpet players took ill, and I took his place. A fantastic little trumpet player named Bobby Moore. And that's the beginning of Harry Sweets Edison. And when I got in the band, Lester Young gave me the name Sweets.
Have that come about?
What reason, I don't know. He had a reason for everything, but the name stuck, and I feel honored to have been named by Lester Young because he was very influential in the jazz world, and especially to the tenor players. His style will never be forgotten. It'll always be copied because he played such a flowing style of tenor. It was very soulful. It was easy to distinguish his sound among many tenor players. When he would hit that first note, first phrase, you would know it was Prez. So being named by him, it was quite an honor. And I still answer by the name of Sweets. In fact, if anyone calls me Harry, my real name, sometimes I'm a little hesitant in answering because everybody calls me Sweets. But that was the beginning of Harry Sweets Edison, Count Basie. Had it not been for Count Basie, there wouldn't be no Harry Sweets Edison, Lester Young, Buck Clayton. He knew just how to spot everybody in the band, give them a chance to play, and he was just a fantastic band leader. Lovable man, and greatly missed.
Indeed so.
Yes.
Well, with the passing of Freddie Green, a whole era has gone by. And
finished, yes. It's
indeed.
About let's see, there's Buddy Tate, Buck Clayton, and myself. That was, we were the older ones. And a guitar player in Kansas City. His name is Fiddler. He was playing guitar in the band before Freddie Green. In fact, Freddie Green took his place, and he's still living in Kansas City. He plays jazz violin now. Great, fantastic. I just had a tour with him in Germany, and he was fantastic as usual. It was his name is Claude Williams.
Oh yes.
Yes, Claude Williams. They nicknamed him Fiddler because he played the jazz violin, and that was a great tour I just had in Germany with Jay McShann. Let's see, Claude Williams and myself. Great. We had a wonderful time in Germany. And we're about the only 4 living out of the old band.
Well, you carry the flame, and you look to be in just the peak of physical condition. Your sense of humor is marvelous.
Thank you.
And your music greatly admired.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Really a pleasure talking with you, Harry Sweets Edison.
It's been my pleasure, and it certainly has been a pleasure to be on your show. Thank you for asking me. And I'm looking forward to doing another interview with you.
I'll meet you
here. I hope so.
I'll meet you tomorrow night.
Okay. I'm looking
right.
forward to it.
And meantime, for all of you listening, Harry Sweets Edison goes back on stage at the Artist Quarter in just a few moments, located at 26th and Nicollet in Minneapolis, where he is currently appearing with George Avaloz, Ron Evenhook, and Dale Alexander. This is Leigh Kamman, and thank you very much, Harry Sweets Edison.
God bless.
And here it is, the last day of January in the year 1988, and Harry Sweets Edison is with us, along with George Avaloz, who is accompanying on this date at the Artist Quarter, Harry Sweets Edison. George, you're there, and I know Harry is there. Welcome in again.
Thank you, Leigh. Pleasure to be here.
After the ball, and you're going to have another show again tonight, Sunday, at 9 o'clock or so.
Yeah, that's right. I suggest that everybody come down because it's a guaranteed good time.
Well, I'm sure it is. And I know it is because I was there for the last
Hours
couple
are
of
different
nights.
tomorrow, too, Leigh. We start at 8:30 tomorrow, so in case.
Oh, I'm glad you pointed that out. 8:30 for Sunday night tonight. Well, George, you're part of the teamwork behind Harry Sweets Edison, and you have played with him before. When you first got acquainted with him, did he ever coach you as to how he'd like you to play behind him?
Sure. I was rambunctious, I guess. I've been told at times, and he always told me, like not to play too much, or when to, like put in some special fills, or using dynamics, and a lot of the things that he's told me about, I've remembered and cherished, and have been a big help to me in my career.
And of course, here you are after 25 years on the stand with him again, and this is 1988. You, I think, probably fell into the groove, or did you have to rediscover some things about the way you might fill color and work with him?
No, well, working with somebody like Sweets, he makes it very easy because he sets it right down, and you'd have to be deaf and blind and crippled not to be able to follow what he's doing. And it's so easy that it just, like, he puts it right in the pocket and I just fall right in,
Well, I understand what you're saying, but I flunked rhythm band, and I wouldn't know what to do about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure if you played with somebody like Sweets, he would have helped you an awful lot.
Yeah, thanks very much. Harry Sweets Edison, are you there?
Just a minute.
Well, I know that it's been a long...
I'm right here, Leigh.
I know it's been a long night for you, but I've been showcasing material here.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to go back to about the 20th of February in 1959 when you began to play on that date for Norman Granz, the Ellington Hodges Blues Summit.
Oh, it was beautiful in my life. That was one of the most pleasurable moments of my life to play with Duke. That's the first time I'd ever played with him, and I was so excited. I didn't know what to play most of the time, but you didn't have much to do. Like George just got this thing, you don't have much to do when you're playing with somebody someone that knows what to do for a soloist. And Duke knew just what to do for a soloist because he had a band full of them. But like George, he's a drummer that's been around a long time, so he doesn't need any coaching. He plays for the individual. If it was somebody else, he would play a different way. He knows just, when you get old as he is, you don't have to tell anybody how to play.
Spirit of eternal youth.
Yeah, he's a fantastic drummer. Could I put in a request?
Sure, absolutely.
Album?
Yes, I hope
Basin Street.
Which one did you?
Basin Street Blues.
Surely. We'll cue that up right after you and I finish this conversation.
Oh, that was my favorite.
Well, good. We'll have a Kamman performance and deliver it.
Oh, thank you so much.
I want to ask you a little more about this session. For example, on Beale Street Blues, you often do use the mute, and you did with Basie, and in this session you did too. It isn't very often, were you thinking that you might dynamically approach a different kind of coloring than maybe Cootie Williams would have given in that session?
Well, as I say all the time, I try to be an individualist. And if Cootie had been there, he would have played it his way. And I guess the reason why they choose me to make the date, they wanted a different type of feeling in the album. So I played just the way that I thought I should play. Duke said, just play what you want to play. It doesn't make any difference. So I don't know any other way to play, but try to play, but the way that I'm doing now, and I'm not doing such a good job, but I'm sure trying my best.
Well, you're a super...
I'm doing my best.
You're a super modest person.
Oh, thank you, but I've never felt like that I played a solo that I would like to just sit down and listen to. I've always tried to do better on the next take, but it seems like you never get a next take because we only played those things over once or twice, and it was you were on your own after that. You know, there was no music, anything. We just got it together.
Well, for this date, did Norman Granz call it and say that he would like these specific musicians?
Yes, he did.
In other words, he chose Joe Jones and you and Al Hall,
Yes.
representing a little different area than, say, Ellington and Hodges.
Right.
And a blending of a couple of traditions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, all of us were old-timers except Les Spann. Les Spann, he was the youngest guy in the group. And I think we had Sam Jones on one side, and we had Joe Benjamin on one of the sides, too. We used about 3 bass players.
And also Billy Strayhorn did some of those tracks, too, didn't he?
Yes, later on he put, well, he didn't do any of this album, not Billy. Duke played the whole thing.
Well, this particular side is, just a thrilling demonstration of your work. And I want to ask you this. Norman Granz has been a part of your musical life for a long time. He's another force that we really don't know a lot about, except in terms of jazz at the Philharmonic and the European tours. But he's a very tough manager, I know.
Well,
how has he affected your life?
He was the greatest of the impresarios for jazz because he took the greatest, he took the finest, he took the ones that created... they were really pioneers of jazz. Ella Fitzgerald, he had the greatest with him, and he recorded Art Tatum, he recorded Basie, Duke, Buddy Rich, he recorded Zoot Sims, he recorded Prez, naturally, Roy Eldridge, he recorded Louis Armstrong, Dizzy, Clark Terry. He recorded just about everybody that's in the jazz dictionary of Leonard Feathers. He took jazz all over the world.
He was a great one for developing the tours.
Yes, he was. He was the greatest. There hasn't been anybody like John Hammond and Norman Granz. And he has a backlog of albums of Duke, Ellen, Pops, and all of them that has never been. They're not even out yet. He's just keeping them on the shelf. I don't know why, but he's got many albums that people have never heard.
Well, between John Hammond and Norman Granz, they represent probably the most mission-oriented people in American jazz history.
Precisely. They really.
What did John and Norman do for you?
Well, they made it possible for everybody on earth to hear me, because I recorded many times with Norman, and I traveled with jazz at the Philharmonic for about 3 or 4 years, and all through Europe. And last year, we went to Japan for Norman's 30th anniversary. 30 years prior to last year, he did his first concert in Tokyo. And he had Ella Fitzgerald, he had Oscar Peterson, Ray Brown, Louis Bellson, Clark Terry, myself. He had Joe Pass, Al Gray. Oh, he had many of us over there, and that's Norman's thing. He had, and I was fortunate enough to be in that crowd, So, as I said before, I've been very fortunate, and I've been blessed in my career. God's blessed me by, by people like Norman taking me under their wings, and like Count Basie. Had it not been for Count Basie, I never would have been with Norman Granz. He was the one that he showcased me in the Basie band. And he just, as I said before, Basie is responsible for all of us.
Well, those are good and historic words you're speaking there. And once again, after the ball, and thanks so much for taking time to talk with us here at Minnesota Public Radio.
Oh, I wish I had more time. And
Well,
the next time I'll have to come up to the station there and stay with you and hang out with you for a couple of hours and be on your show.
oh, we'll make it a date.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. And thank you for inviting me to be on your show. And we are blessed by people, with people like you, because you keep jazz alive. If it wasn't for you, it would be a lost art, because you keep promoting jazz, and we're all jazz musicians are grateful to you for playing their albums, letting the people know that they are still around, they are still existing. If it wasn't for you, jazz would be there wouldn't be any, because they would never hear it. And you are just one of the finest disc jockeys, or whatever. I don't want to call you a disc jockey, but you're one of the greatest lover of music. One of the greatest. And I just absolutely have nothing but accolades for you.
Well, that's very nice of you.
I hope you keep on doing it.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Harry Sweets Edison.
And thank you for inviting me on your show. And as I said before, I'm looking forward to doing it again with you. I hope this engagement merits a return engagement. And I'm looking forward to coming back here and seeing you and being with you and sitting down and talking jazz to you.
Well, we'll see you on stand tomorrow night at 8:30. Tonight at 8:30, I should say. It's already Sunday morning.
I'm looking forward to it, Leigh.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good night and have a good Sunday.
And you too, and God bless.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.